Hi everyone, thanks for joining me again for another episode of Christy's Cookbook Chronicles. For those who have been following along or who are new to our channel, we are cooking out of the African American Heritage Cookbook by Carolyn Tillery, and we have been having a great time. We've made a spiced tea punch, we've made steak and gravy, we have made fried chicken, and a couple of other things. But today we're going to make an appetizer. We're going to make hot clam dip, and I'm really excited about that because I love clams, and also clams are very popular here in Portugal. I believe the Portuguese word for clams is ameijoa. Forgive me to all my Portuguese friends if I'm saying that incorrectly. A funny story, I often get that word confused with the word for almond, which is amêndoa. And so I have gone to the restaurant trying to order clams and mistakenly said almond, but that's what happens when you're learning a new language, and so it has nothing to do with cooking. Well, actually it does. I encourage you, get out of your comfort zone, try something new, and you'll end up laughing at yourself, but also learning along the way. So let's get cooking. So what I neglected to say a minute ago was that all of the ingredients and the recipe will be below the video in the description. So make sure every single time before you cook, read the whole entire recipe thoroughly so that you make sure you have all of your ingredients, and then you won't have any surprises while you're cooking. All right, let's start. The first thing you'll need is a round piece of whole loaf bread, like a rustic bread. And the recipe says that it needs to be 8 inches in diameter, and we're going to cut the top out of the center and scoop the bread out, but reserve those pieces so that you can dip it in the clam dip. So I'll demonstrate in just a second. Okay guys, so here's my rustic bread from my local bakery, and I'm going to cut the center part out and scoop it out, and let's hope this all goes according to plan. We'll see. I'm going to try to make as close to a circle, I guess, as I can in this, and hope for the best. All right, let's see what's happening here. And you're going to reserve this top piece too, because you're going to put that right back on top. So I think it looks decent so far. I'm going to scoop some of this out so we can have more of a bowl to put all the ingredients for the clam dip in, but hey, let's see how it turns out. So you'll notice that I have my bread sitting on this piece of aluminum foil because after we put our ingredients for the clam dip itself, and we put our top back on, we're going to wrap this in the aluminum foil before we put it in our 250-degree Fahrenheit oven. Again, that oven, preheat now if you can, 250 Fahrenheit. So reserve all your bread pieces like I have here. Here's my lid as well. Make sure before you put everything inside that is on the foil so that it will make it easier to wrap, so you're not trying to transfer everything once this is full of your ingredients. Okay, so let's start combining our ingredients now. This recipe for the hot clam dip calls for 2 cups of minced clams, drained, but you want to reserve 1/4 of a cup of the clam juice. So that's what I have here to go inside. So we have our 2 cups of minced clams that have been, I actually rinse mine after I reserve the clam juice. It's just my quirk. So we have the 2 cups of the minced clams. We have 8 ounces of the cream cheese, and you can use whatever brand. I use the Philadelphia, but you can use whatever brand you like. So we'll put that, and you want the cream cheese to be softened, so I suggest sitting it out at room temperature. Then we need 1/2 cup of crumbled feta cheese, and feta is just a Greek cheese. You have it right here. Again, you can use whatever brand floats your boat. We need 1/4 cup of whipping cream, and here the cream, they call it nata. It's in Portuguese, but nata always has, it clumps up inside of the container, but it will break apart once I start to stir this. So don't be panicked for my Portuguese friends. If you have your nata, we're used to that. It's no big deal. And then you want to put in your clam juice that you've reserved. It's 1/4 cup. Don't mind me, I have it in the 1/3 cup measurement, but it's 1/4 cup. And then make sure you have your tablespoons and teaspoons ready. We are going to use 1/8 teaspoon of dry mustard, and the word for mustard in Portuguese is mostarda. I believe, don't quote me, but I think that is it. So we're going to take our 1/8 teaspoon. We need 1/4 teaspoon of seasoned salt. I'm using Lowry's, brought this with me from the States. So there's our seasoned salt. We need 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. The Portuguese word for onion is cebola. In Spanish, I believe it's cebolla, so it's very similar. Again, we'll do the 1/4 teaspoon of the onion powder. We need a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, or Worcestershire, however you like to say it. Just make sure you have it. And we're gonna, and I happen to like Worcestershire sauce, so I don't care if it's a little bit extra, but this is the tablespoon. And we're gonna put that in there. And now we need 2 teaspoons of fresh lemon juice. So this is a lemon I had from earlier. Hopefully I don't get any seeds in there, because I didn't de-seed it ahead of time. If so, it's okay, I'll just pick it out. So we need 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, fresh lemon juice. And there goes the seed, of course. So let's get rid of those. You don't want anybody to eat that. Let's get rid of the other one there. Okay, we need another teaspoon. Ooh. This one's feisty. Okay, and we'll take the seed out. There's some little pips in there too, so they won't hurt you, but still. So we'll put that in there, and now we're going to mix this all together and be ready to pour this into our bread. Okay, so now we've mixed up all of our ingredients really well, and hopefully everything's been incorporated, all of your seasonings, all of the clam juice, all of the lemon juice, and we're going to put that inside of the hollow that we made in our bread. You're going to stuff that in there really well. Get all that good creaminess. And then we're going to put the lid back on. And you're going to wrap this really tightly in aluminum foil and sit it inside of a pie dish so it can bake for 2.5 hours. Okay, so our clam dip is finished, and let's see what we think about this recipe. It is tasty. I think it could use a little bit more salt, but it's really tasty, and I love the way the feta cheese makes it a little bit tangy. And I like the creaminess of it, of course, but I think this is a great party food. Only suggestion I would have would be to adjust the salt. So thanks for cooking with me again today, and tune in the next time. Let's see what we'll make when we come back around. Maybe dessert. All right, ciao.